Hey, welcome back. It's chapter 5 of Management 449. You've now completed chapters 1 through 4, which include all the diagnosis tools that you need to think about the firm and what the firm is doing well and what the firm could improve. So in chapter 5, just like this view, we're up at the top. We're taking a bird's eye view now of strategy. Chapter 5 is about the 5 generic strategies that firms need to do well, okay? So a firm picks one of these generic strategies and pursues it with all of its might. Now, you could go home and you could try to memorize the 5 strategies, but what I would do, and what I would encourage you to do instead, is think about the axes, right? So one of those axes is your competitive advantage. Are you going to go for low cost or differentiation? Okay, remember we talked in chapter 1 about perceived price, perceived value, price, and cost. In a low cost strategy, we're going to think about lowering costs and minimizing costs. In a differentiation strategy, we're going to think about pushing up the perceived value. So on one axis, we have the low cost and the differentiation strategy. The other axis is how wide or narrow your target market is. Are you going after a very specific small niche of people, or are you going after everybody? Broad appeal. Okay, so that goes into that axis. And then, like a good business school class, we have the middle, which is the best cost provider strategy, which is a hybrid of those. So recapping that 2x2 matrix, you have low cost and differentiator strategy on one axis, and then you have broad and you have narrow target markets. So when you combine those together, you have broad low cost, you have broad differentiator, you have focused low cost or focused differentiator, and you have best cost in the very middle. So as you're thinking about each of those strategies, I encourage you to think about the different companies that compete in each of those little squares. And what you want to look at for low cost is the cost drivers. What are people like Walmart doing? They're looking for supply chain efficiencies. Amazon, they're eliminating retail levels by being both the wholesaler, the distributor, but not going through a traditional retailer. When does a strategy work best? What are the pitfalls? In differentiation, the best example is Apple. They create features where there weren't any before. They take advantage of product attributes. So in that case, for a differentiation strategy, you'll look for value drivers. You want to think about when those work best and what the pitfalls are. Okay, and then when you're looking at the niche markets, you're looking at very narrow slivers of the market and little nuances, changes in taste, changes in desires of customers that are being met by specific companies. And finally, when you're thinking about that best cost provider, you're looking at a company like Toyota or Trader Joe's, both of which are discussed in the book, that pursue a hybrid of both low cost and differentiation strategy. So take a minute to read the book, look at the videos, and then do the AWOL exercises, and we'll talk about the 5 strategies when we get back together next time. See you soon.